Hello and welcome to your IBM update for June 2024. A snapshot of news and views on what's been happening within the IBM community in the past 4 weeks as reported by Proximity, your premier partner for IBM application support and development. Now, all-round good guy and arbiter of the IBM companies list, John Rockwell released the All 400's 2024 IBM survey in April. With June quickly coming to a close, now is the last opportunity for us to join together as a community and answer just 30 quick, non-obligatory questions. Now, this survey is uniquely open to all within the IBM community and has a goal of 500 respondents for 2024, just shy of the 600 plus in 2023. Now, the link is somewhere in the description below or in the blog. As previewed in the IBM update of last month, at the beginning of June saw the return of the Common Europe event. This year we were in Milan, Italy, with the event hosted at the Expo Centre, just about 20 minutes outside the city centre. As promised by Torbjörn, we enjoyed a smorgasbord of over 170 presentations or discussions from 88 international speakers in this multi-threaded event. With over 450 attendees from 31 different countries, Common Milan broke previous attendance records. And on the morning of Tuesday the 4th, after introductions by the committee, we were straight onto the keynote speech in which VP Steve Sibley, CTO Steve Will, and distinguished engineer Joe Cropper provided insight into what they are working on. First, Steve told of the continuing success of the platform, with IBM delivering 9 straight quarters of revenue growth and 2 years of double-digit revenue growth, consolidating its position as a very important part of IBM's ongoing strategy, while reassuring us of their continued commitment to the platform. Steve went on to discuss AI and its growing importance to IBM's strategy. He explained that generative AI is creating an inflection point in business transformation. Talking about their future direction, he cited results from a survey conducted by IBM themselves. He said that over 62% of executives said that generative AI will disrupt how their organization designs experience. I'm sure that's important, and 71% of execs think it's difficult to release the full potential of digital transformation without having a solid hybrid cloud strategy. So AI and cloud being pivotal to their strategy moving forward. This led neatly into the presentation by Steve Will, who introduced the possibility of incorporating generative AI on the IBM platform. Now, I covered this last month as he did the very same presentation in Texas in May, but to summarize the key areas, first is its ability to support code development through generative AI. Here, the Copilot would be able to understand the code base and provide contextual information, plus supporting coding activities in both a generative sense and for application support too. Secondly, however, was an idea in DB2 data analytics. So, for example, the AI could sit next to the transactional stream, read the throughput, and build and notice trends to help you understand what's going on. With knowledge built, this in turn could lead to AI predicting events and therefore supporting preventative actions. And finally, in ongoing operations, AI could monitor and react appropriately to operational alerts. Steve said, if we can figure out how to get the right transaction data, like messages that go to QSys OPR and so on, over an AI workload that can do automated operations, it could then help to run your machine. So really exciting stuff, and Steve put out the call to action again in Europe for us to provide the community to donate RPG code so they can build an IBM large language model. Joe Cropper also provided insight into what IBM are doing with the cloud, hybrid cloud, and private cloud too, using private virtual server. Joe explained that using private virtual server, he has a customer who migrated and was productive on Power 10 in just a week. Joe told us that in the past 12 months they've simplified the networking stack to make it easier for you to get your applications and data into Power Virtual Server or even move them back and forth. In the same vein, IBM have invested significantly into seamless DR and geographical replication of data too. In addition, there are new capabilities including compliance, additional data centers in Madrid and Chennai in India, plus options for dedicated hosting resources, hybrid model, and granulated costing too. But again, it was AI which was the unofficial theme of the event, with many presentations and discussions outside the announcement of Steve Will. Now, the highlight for me was the presentation and subsequent hosting of a panel discussion by the inimitable New Yorker Charlie Guarino. On Tuesday, Charlie presented Experience the Wonders of AI. Charlie started by providing pivotal moments in history, going back to Alan Turing, who first proposed the idea, can machines think, back in an article he published during his time at Oxford in the 1950s. Charlie moved through the timeline from the 50s, citing examples in every decade, from HAL in 1968, in A Space Odyssey, in 1999, Deep Blue, evaluating up to 200 million moves in a second to defeat Garry Kasparov in chess, right up to IBM Watson winning Jeopardy in 2011 and the introduction of ChatGPT in 2022. And providing context for what is a large language model and why it's needed, passing over to his colleague Thomas Decour, a research doctorate no less. Thomas went on to explain that essentially a LLM is a deep learning algorithm that studies, computes, and learns from massive data sets. Think of learning to drive. The more roads you drive down from city to country, the more you learn and understand the nature and law of driving, and perhaps more importantly, how to react given certain circumstances. This is the fundamentals of an LLM. But to use this knowledge, you'll need to articulate it. Charles took to the floor again and explained that to get the most out of AI, you have to provide the AI with context. Tell it the roles you'd like it to play, the audience in which you're working with, and clearly tell it what you're looking for, the outcomes, and how you'd like it presented. The key here is to be very specific. AI doesn't stop at the prompt, as with great understanding comes great clarity. So if you can apply the same logic on your mobile device, you can have something that can translate phone calls in real time, summarize web pages, is able to rewrite your emoji-laden text messages, and more besides. It'll be able to edit your photos to make them look brilliant. Indeed, AI can create unique images and video. I'll let Charles explain.
Feature of ChatGPT called DALL-E, D-A-L-L-E, DALL-E. And what they're showing me over here is you can actually have it create entire PowerPoints for you. It's pretty amazing. And they're giving you some examples here of the idea is, again, to be very specific. The more specific you are, the better images you're going to get. Now, I grew up in New York City. I said, this is me talking now. I love dogs. I always had dogs growing up. I had a little Pomeranian. I had a big Great Dane, big dogs. So I typed, I said, create an image of a Pomeranian puppy playing with a large Great Dane, tug of war. And the Great Dane is losing the fight. This is what I'm typing in. They are in a park in New York City with children playing, attended by an older couple with the skyline behind them. That's what I typed in. And this is what I got back. This is an original picture, never seen before, will never be created again.
And it doesn't end with photos. You can create videos too. Sora, which is not open to the public at present, can create a video from a prompt. Again, back to Charles.
Long red dress, black boots, it goes on and on, wearing sunglasses, red lipstick, and she walks casually and confidently. Like this, I guess, is that casually and confidently? I guess, I don't even know. All right. The street is damp, creating a mirror effect. This is what it created. This woman does not exist. Confident woman walking down Tokyo wearing a black jacket with a red dress, with the streets wet, with the people behind her, with the warm glowing lights behind her. This woman does not exist.
And AI does all this through generative pre-trained transformer, or GPT, to you and I. The GPT uses a LLM to build its understanding of the world and provides context and contextual information with human-like responses. And today there are plenty of GPTs to choose from, not just ChatGPT, with the numbers growing seemingly every week. So where does a co-pilot fit in? Well, think of a co-pilot as a specialist in a certain field. It's trained to a high level in a particular topic or field of expertise, and as such can provide expert advice, guidance and support in these particular areas. The IBM I co-pilot, for example, will be able to support your RPG coding better than ChatGPT because of the information it has and the training it's received. This being specifically for the IBM I and all the nuances and specialist features therein. Now, of course, I'm summarizing a subject in just a few minutes that Charles spent an hour presenting. And even then, his presentation was a summary of other articles in Insight. If you've not seen Charles speak, please do so. He's certainly one of the best in the IBM I community.
All right, here we go. Hey, it's Charlie Guarino. We are here in Milan, Italy at Common Europe. What an amazing conference it's going to be. We just finished a session on using AI, the marvels of AI. What a great time we're all having. Everybody say hello from Milan. Or say buongiorno from Milan. Buongiorno.
Which is why at 8 AM the following day, I was back with Charlie for an open panel discussion on practical AI usages in the enterprise. First, Charles asked what would be the low-hanging fruit to introduce to the enterprise. Alex Reutemann explained that
a typical IBM shop has like a big backlog of like, I need this custom report and that custom report, and those are things that can be addressed by AI through like a very basic technique of if you take a model that knows how to generate SQL, you can give it some natural language, it'll generate the SQL that you can run on its behalf.
Thomas DeCour concurred and explained that simple but well-used data-driven applications such as a sales forecast, inventory report or customer analytics are usually one of the best applications that AI can do in the first instance. My advice is start with something small that doesn't impact mission-critical information. Jesse Gorinsky, AI business architect at IBM, added that what we're really doing is leveraging AI to remove repetitive, tedious tasks that humans are doing. But on the other side of the AI coin are the concerns with security, and Charles asked the panel what their recommendations were. Jesse explained that AI exasperates any security vulnerabilities you already have in your system. The same considerations for something like providing full system access or all user or all object authority, never a good idea, should be applied to AI too. Keep in mind the purpose of what you're trying to achieve and lock that into the permissions you give it. Be diligent when data modeling these applications. The presentations and debate at the exhibition were up to their usual high standards then, but outside the conference room we could enjoy the main exhibition hall. Here the conference hosted the sponsors and vendors. Now there was a real buzz with live demonstrations to be enjoyed, good food to eat, and weather that allowed the delegates to chat and network outside too. And then there's the obligatory tote bag that comes with all the goodies, including common t-shirts and flasks. So we should take a look at the common tote bag that was supplied on registration. So let's take a quick look in here. First we have, let me see, we have a CEC 2024 water bottle. Very, very nice. Next in the goodie bag we have a red hat keyring. It's like Christmas. Next we have the pen, I think. Yep, that's a pen, all right. Put that there. And of course, underneath this, we have all the paperwork, and we have a notepad for writing on. And of course, we have the obligatory Common Europe t-shirt, which is in a size XL for me. I must seriously lose some weight. My thanks to Common Europe. And on the final evening of the Congress, Common gave us an opportunity to let our hair down, well, figuratively speaking anyway, and have an evening of good chat, good food and good entertainment, including a set from 90s Dutch sensation Natalie Arts. Personally, I think there was many a sore head the following morning. And on that final morning, Common hosted an open panel discussion with the experts. Many questions were fielded, including AI, but I thought I'd close on a question involving training.
My question here, someone said to me, okay, so my training budget for my team for the next year is $0, €0, £0, 0 in every currency. What the hell do I do in order to actually learn something new?
Steve Will took this question and explained that
our community is really good at creating training material and making it available for anybody to use. I just want to point out that that is part of the mission of our development team and our product team as well. If you haven't heard about it, every Wednesday morning, nearly every Wednesday morning in the US, we have these things called guided tours. And my point about mentioning that is to get you to go see them, but every time we do a new technology, we will schedule a guided tour about that new technology where the expert in that technology will teach you an hour of it. And all of the experts who do that are very happy to then take an email or a chat that says, okay, I've learned this, where do I go next?
Liam Barry Allen added to this, explaining that YouTube remains an important asset for training, with many IBM advocates and experts sharing their tricks and tips in everything from coding to system administration. So all in all, Common Europe Congress remains the most important IBMI conference in the European calendar. Should you get the chance to go, I would strongly recommend it. You'll come away with valuable knowledge and insight, plus a few new friends too. I'll be there at the IUG event in mid-June too, so if you're there and see me, do say hello. But that's it for the update in June 2024. For more like this, do see our blog on the Proximity website. But for now, I'm Andrew Nicholson. We're Proximity, the IBMI partners that are in your corner. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.